Hey everybody, welcome back. I figured today I'd take you through what we do for water. We've spoken about our power generation, our vegetable growing, etc., our chickens. So I figured it's time to let you know how we get on here with watering, etc. When we bought the property, it already had a borehole 100 meters deep. We had to replace the pump on it because that was shot. The pump draws 3 kilowatts when running, and in summertime that thing can run between 6 and 7 hours a day non-stop. Now the way we've got the system set up, the borehole pumps into a holding tank which is for use in the house. So we have it's between 50 and 70,000 litres. I'm guessing it's big, it's underground, it's a huge underground concrete tank. Now, as well as feeding into the underground tank, it also then runs a sort of main water feed to various points in the property where I've got manifolds with electro valves on that we use for the automated irrigation system. I'm just tidying up some cabling over here for the automated irrigation system. I had to do a few bits of reconfiguration when I was adding in the additional 2 circuits for tier 2. So I had to do a few changes. So I'm just tidying the cable up now. Okay, so I've just joined the cables. I'm just going to heat shrink them. Done. Okay, so for the main controls for the automated irrigation, I've opted for open sprinkler. It's built on a Raspberry Pi platform. Now when I was looking around for automation, the cost of the controllers was actually pretty high, especially if you wanted something like 24 separate zones. This worked out a hell of a lot cheaper and gives me the option that I can repair and rebuild, replace, do whatever I need to if the need arises. Comes with an app with a nice user interface, as well as being ready to hook into most home automation systems. So this is where the borehole is located, inconveniently in the driveway. One day we'll get a grate over it. That's 100 meters deep, and it has a 3 kilowatt pump. Sucks a lot of power. So the borehole tees off over here and runs across to a manifold behind those yuccas over there, as well as then comes back around this way and feeds the underground tank. And then the water from the underground tank comes in through here via a pressure sensitive valve, goes through 3 stages of filtration, and then into the house. Our drinking water is further filtered in the fridge. This is the first manifold that feeds off to the various sections irrigating the lawn, bamboo, etc., etc. We then also have another manifold down by the gate which feeds this main front top lawn, as well as the hedge and the outside flower pots. And this is the orchard manifold. It's got 4 circuits on it. One of them feeds this lawn behind the kitchen and shed. 2 of them feed the lawn in the orchard, and one of them runs down and feeds the pop-up sprinklers around the chicken coop. And that was it for irrigation, or so I thought. When we decided it was time to see if we could become self-sufficient in the food department, we had to extend the irrigation out to tier 1 and tier 2 for the veggies that we were planting over there. Luckily, I had the foresight to make sure I had 24 circuits. Now the open sprinkler uses standard 24 volt AC valves, which you can pick up in pretty much any irrigation store or most nurseries. So it's very easy to add to the system as and when required. Obviously the first extension would have to be in the vegetable garden. So this was the first addition. This is the tier 1 manifold. It's got 2 circuits on it, one for drip and one for spray, and then obviously a tap for hose pipe use. Once the hoop house was built, I added another manifold in here, also 2 valves, one for drip and one for overhead spray potentially in the future, along with a tap for the hose pipe. So this area over here is under automated irrigation. It's hooked up to the tier 1 spray circuit. I think I might need to add another pop-up on this side of this bed here. I don't think it's getting enough, so that's another job that needs to be done as far as irrigation is concerned here. So all of these beds here have got drip irrigation, as well as these 3 beds here. There's pop-ups around the chicken coop for the strawberries over here and there. I need to add in more pop-ups along the edge of the garlic bed so that they can spray towards us, and these will be all under automated irrigation as well. And then shortly after doing the vegetable and tier 1 manifold, it was decided we needed to plant melons and butternut up in tier 2. Also just 2 valves, one for the drip circuit and one for future potential spray circuits. What I've done is I've run a 32 mil pipe all the way up to the top of the property over there. So any future growing up there, we can easily just tap into the drip circuit, tees off and runs down this way to feed the potato beds. I'm going to have to rethink these sprinklers. There's not enough pressure for them to spray properly. I can only connect one and it'll spray okay. So we're going to change those. And this is the melbutt bed where we planted melons and butternut etc. last year. That was a disaster. Hopefully this year we're going to be better. The tubing we've used for the melbutt bed is 600 millimeter spacing as opposed to 300. I've got about 500 meters of this stuff. That's the corn bed being prepared. We've got corn seedlings almost ready to go in. A few more days I think. And then the latest addition to the back tier 2 is the asparagus and rhubarb and subsequently strawberry bed. Now I have to be honest, this drip tubing, while it drives me nuts when I can't keep it straight, I actually really like the way it works. You don't waste water, you get water directed exactly where you plant, and there's no waste. I think it's very efficient. Right way to go. These are the pop-ups that we put in originally, the standard Hunter pop-ups, which worked fine, but I found something much better, which are the Hunter rotators. They spray just as far as the other Hunters, and they give a better coverage and use less water. So the problem I've got with these Hunter pop-ups is because we've got quite a lot of calcium in the water, limescale, they get jammed. So I need to come and give them a good clean with some limescale remover. So that's our irrigation system and how we get our water. Self-sufficient as far as water is concerned and power. Hoping to get self-sufficient as far as food goes. There's a couple things I need to do on the irrigation system to get it to exactly where I want. I want to put an electro valve on the feed to the underground tank, At the moment it's on a ball valve, so if the tank's low and I want to irrigate the lawn, I have to wait for the tank to fill up and the ball valve to close. So that's on the cards. The other thing I need to do is connect the irrigation system to the borehole pump so that I can automate that. At the moment I have to go and switch on the pump manually and then send the irrigation system. I found the relay that I've been missing for the last 2 years. So that'll get done in the next couple of weeks. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week.